Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I am Dutchess. This is my channel, Dutchess Divinity, and we do lots of stuff here, but today I'm going to give you my tips and tricks to have good yoni health. I'm a very sensitive person. I'm sensitive to chemicals and diet and just all sorts of things, so I've had to kind of figure out different tips and tricks to keep my yoni healthy, because as sensitive as I am naturally, my yoni is even more sensitive because it's like the most sensitive area of the body, right? But I guess I'll just say a prayer, set my intentions while we wait for some people to come in the live. And yeah, you just sit back, relax, be open to receive. I'm also going to do a sound healing for yoni health with a sacral chakra singing bowl, so we'll do that at the end. So yeah, I'll just say my prayers. Benevolent guides, guardians, ancestors, angels, star family, higher self, Yeshua, Baal, Raya, Mayan, God source, I humbly come to you today on behalf of myself and all those watching, and just say thank you so much for everything that you bless us with. We are so grateful for all aspects of life, the ups, the downs, the challenges, and the blessings. We understand that all of this makes a well-rounded individual in this very polarized reality, and for this we say thank you. And I ask, please, that I be a messenger for the divine, nothing more, nothing less. Let no truth be told for a lie, and no lie be told for a truth. Let all the information and healing that comes through come from the source from which all things come. Let it flow through Christ consciousness, and please let it give myself and others exactly what we need in this moment right now, and let it help us walk on our path, in our purpose, on our highest timeline. I pray all of this with the purest of hearts and the best of intentions, only ever for the highest and greatest good of humanity, the highest and greatest good of this universe, and the highest and greatest good of myself and all those watching. Amora Shinamaste, by the power of three, Samoted be, always works, always a blessing. Hey Kenna. How you doing? Hey Sam. Hey Yisharak. What's up, guys? Oh my god, hi beautiful. Hi Lizzie. Hi Sar. What's up, guys? How you doing? I am dead tired. I am freaking dead tired. I don't know about you. I just went for a walk in the woods. It was really nice, but I saw a guy and I'm pretty sure he wasn't real. I know that sounds crazy, but like, he was coming from one direction when I got there and like went to the parking lot, and then it was so freaking weird. And then he cut in front of me. All of a sudden he was behind me, and I was like, ooh, and I like let him go in front of me. So he cut in front of me in the woods. And then I was like in the woods and I hear someone walking up behind me, and it's him with a bike. And I'm like, how the fuck did this guy not only like he went onto the trail before me, now he's behind me, and now he just has a bike? Like, I don't even know if that guy was real. Like, it was very confusing. It was scary, especially being a woman, like, walking alone in the forest, and this man just keeps showing up in all different areas, and you're like, it's just you guys in the woods. Like, weird Matrix glitch or not, it was freaky that he just kept like being around every freaking corner. It was very weird. Hi Francis. I seem exhausty face. Yeah, I am exhausty face. I am a little cranky, honestly. I don't know why. I think it's because like I'm back in Connecticut and the vibes here are just so off. Like, I'm definitely planning to move from here soon because like people are miserable and mean. The road rage has gotten absolutely out of control. Nobody's paying attention. Everybody's on their phones and screaming at each other and flipping each other off. Like, I don't know. The vibes are just really bad here. So I'm planning to definitely, hopefully, move to another state soon. Hi, Katie. I'm glad you're safe. Thanks, me too. Been a weird day in Florida too. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of solar flares. I put on my solar flare bracelet. They're ready, by the way, guys. They're not pre-order anymore. They're in my shop. I got instant relief. So I was like in pain. And then I put on my solar flare bracelet and I felt so much better. Like my pain dissipated. And when I was baptizing these in the ocean, when I finished like the last baptism, they instantly started buzzing in my hands and I was like, oh, holy crap, these are powerful. And I hadn't even charged them with candles yet at that point. So I knew that they were very powerful as soon as I finished charging them. These solar flares have had me on my knees. Layla, you got me on my knees. That's what I heard in my head. Please like the video, guys, so that more people can come in. How is everybody doing? So Sam said it's a weird day. The vibes are no thank you for sure. I don't know what's up, but it's a big no for me. Same. And I'm also just like so tired, like, and even Cornica, poor Corn, she's having some tummy issues today, like, I don't know, but, I'm definitely going to bed early, and I am, definitely going to bed early, and I'm gonna watch some Buffy, and just relax. Thanks for liking. I feel radioactive. Rotisserie chicken. That's one way to put it. Lots of matrix shifts and gathering my soul today. I hear ya on that. I also accidentally like, get out of here, fake ass P. Diddy. That's hilarious. He's like, party in Miami. Y'all are invited. You fake P. Diddy. No way. We wouldn't go to your parties anyway. We know what happens there. It's just a P. Diddy bot. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I woke up late. Like, I overslept. I woke up late. Like, I don't know. My day didn't go as planned. It didn't go bad. It just didn't go as planned. No Diddy. Exactly. Not gonna lie, I laughed. I laughed too. It was pretty funny. It's just like a stock photo of him. Not that what happened is funny or his allegations are funny. The commenter was funny. I'm slaying my demons left and right and slicing negative talk for good. Yeah, same, me too. And I was trying to like fast today and only have things of like the earth. So like only like fruits and vegetables and nuts. And that could be why I'm cranky too, because I'm like fasting from processed food. I'm sick of the darkness. Yeah, me too. I'm gonna try to read this, but I don't speak French. Ma chérie, tu dégages une beauté incroyable. Thanks. Did you say my beauty is incredible? Thank you. I don't know if I did a good job. I've never spoken French in my life. Alright, well, let's get into what I want to talk about. Yes? Thank you. I just needed some sun, honestly, I think. I was feeling so crusty, and then as soon as I got to the beach and got some sun, I felt a million times better, and put down my phone and started reading a book instead of scrolling all day. Now I feel much, much, much better. How long do you usually fast for? I need to start. I feel like it will benefit me. So one way that I started doing just things of the earth, and I do honey too sometimes, because even though it's technically from a bee, I don't know, I just do honey. And I might do raw milk. I know that's from a cow, but like, I don't know. It's up to you. That's just how I do it. But so I started with 1 day at a time. So you just do like 1 day where you have nothing processed, and then eventually you move up to 3 days at a time, which is what I do, where I have nothing processed and no meat, or sometimes I'll do nothing processed and meat. It really depends on your body. Also, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a girl who this works for me, so always do what's best for your body, and make sure you're doing what's best for your individual health needs. But so I'll start with 1 day, and then I'll do 3 days, and then I'll do a week, and if I'm feeling really good from the week, usually I will fast, like, it can be hard to fast for like long periods of time. But if I've been fasting, let's say for like 4 months, I've been doing 3 days here, 3 days there, a week there, I might do like, at the end of the week, I might do just water and then just fast and have only water. So like, I did that I was like doing fasting of processed food on and off all through 2020, and then for Halloween I fasted from processed food for an entire week, and then on the last day of the week I fasted and I only drank water, and it was like easy because I had gotten my body to the point where it was like used to like fasting, so I could just do water. But I don't suggest like hopping into something like that if your body is not used to it, and if you've never done it before. You're way more likely, I think, to fail if you try to overdo it and just hop right into being very restrictive. I think you should start slow, also to see how your body can process it, because everybody's different. Are you Canadian? I'm not Canadian. I am a proud American. I know America, there's not a lot of things to be too proud of right now, but I'm proud of what America was built on, the idea of freedom, liberty, and justice. I am proud of my Italian American and my Irish American ancestors who fought to give me the freedoms that I have. I'm a proud American. I'll bleed red, white, and blue. Just kidding. Your diet made me think about the dragons. Feel like they want to come in too. You are very psychic, Sar, because that's how I started fasting. Dragons came to me and challenged me. They challenged me to fast and only have things of the earth. And you are not supposed to scorn a dragon. Like, you're not supposed to make a promise to a dragon and not keep it, because then they'll never work with you again. So, like, them asking me to fast was what got me to actually do it, because I wanted to work with them and I didn't want to, like, waste their time. So, yeah, the dragons. And then what they did was they freaking tempted me. So I was, like, out all night at the Capitol protesting mandatory Vs before C-19 was even a thing. Like, I was protesting them because they were trying to do it before that unlawfully. And for all the protesters, the leaders of the protest got them chocolate chip cookies and pizza. And those are, like, two of my favorite things. And I was fasting! And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? But I didn't eat the pizza, I didn't eat the chocolate chip cookies, and then they invisibility cloaked me so I could walk all through the capital of my state in the middle of the night. It was like 3 a.m., all the lights were off, and it was like the area with all the statues, like giant statues and statues, like life-size statues. And I just walked back there, and I was like walking through the dark with all these statues, and it was like activating my DNA and downloading all this information into me. And then when I finally finished, I walked around for like an hour in the restricted area. I didn't know it was restricted. Like, I saw there was like a little sign that was like, don't go here, but I was like, what's the harm? And I went around the sign, and then I came out, and there was a security guard who was like in that spot, and he was like, hey, how'd you get back there? I was like, I don't know, I just walked. And he was like, oh, well, you're not supposed to be back there, don't do that again. So I got rewarded because I didn't fall into temptation and eat the pizza and cookies, which I'd take nighttime stroll through the Capitol under all the giant statues any day over pizza and cookies, because that was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. At like 3 a.m., it's like a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Google Translate says, my darling, you exude incredible beauty. Oh, thank you to the French person who said that. Oh my god, yes, been reading the Pleiadian Agenda. So good. Yeah, but they offend me. It is so good, but some of it's wrong. Some of it is just wrong. Like how they're like, there are 9 dimensions. There are not 9 dimensions. There are 12 with the possibility of a 13th. And then they're like, you're lazy, you're this, you're that. Like, there's one part in the book where she's like, I'm trying to insult you. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I have to, like, get over that while I'm reading it. But other than that, it's so good. It's activating my DNA. I ordered it. I can't wait to get it. Yeah, it's so good. I just ordered another book of hers, too, about Kundalini, which I'm excited to read once I finish this one. I'm happy you did. It's so enlightening. Yeah, it is. Proud Native American. Yep, I am Native American on my mom's side. My mom's side is Irish, Native American, and Norwegian. My dad's side is Italian and French. So I'm a good old mixy mix. The Eagles. Hi. Nikki, be like the macaroni and cheese and chocolate chip cookies straight from the hot oven. Ah. Don't say that while I'm fasting. Just kidding. You can say that, but dang, I want that. Or be peas and chickles. Yo, if you're here for the peas and chickles, you're an original. That makes me, now I'm fasting. You're bringing up all my favorite foods, Madison. Yeah, she's a bit ferocious. Yeah, she is. That is the word, ferocious. I'm like clutching my pearls for half the book. And also, I don't agree with, there's a lot that's, like, mind-blowing, but I don't agree with what she was saying about surrogacy and, like, how, like, only certain people will be fertile and surrogates are evil and this and that. Like, I completely disagree with that, and it was sounding very Handmaid's Tale at that part, and I was like, I'm taking all of that with a grain of salt, because... But also remembering, too, that it was written in 1995, and it's 2024 now, so it's like a lot has changed and shifted since 1995, so just using my discernment while I'm listening to the book. Thank you. You're gorgeous. Thanks, Lee. What about carrots? Yeah, I can eat carrots. Wah, wah. I love the feral ones. I feel like the reason it is so harsh is because they lack understanding for what it means to be human. Yeah, and there's some creepy parts too where they're like, we're riding around in your vessel. Like, they just... It's kind of like when you see people who have gone way too far on the, like, well, people who have done too many psychedelics, for one, or people who have gone way too far in the direction of starseed, and they no longer resonate with humans, and humans find them very off-putting because they have, like, lost their humanity. I see it a lot in the spiritual community, and it's like... There's something about this book, too, that's like, ooh, it's like off-putting in certain areas, because it's like she's like, we use your body and we ride around and get a human experience through your body. And there's a part, too, where she's like, some of you will choose to die, and that's fine. And she was like, if you're going to be choosing to kill yourself every day with the food that you eat and the stuff that you do, at least be happy about it. Like, some of it is just so harsh. Like, you definitely have to read it with discernment. Madison! Rude! What? Don't talk about that. Shady Glen fried cheese is the last one I remember. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. Don't talk about that. That makes me want the fried cheese. Madison. That's my favorite. Madison. Shady Glen fried cheese. And ice cream. And tuna. They have really good tuna. Their fries, they're okay. I always get them, but they're not that good. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that. We are here to have a human experience. Never lose your humanity. Exactly. Are you eating the food raw, or are you making it yummy? Oh, girl, I'm making it delicious still. Like, yeah. And I tried to eat a not ripe banana today. That was one of the worst choices I've ever made. That was disgusting. I've never tried to eat, like, such a green banana. It was so green I couldn't even peel it. And I was like, I'm sure it's fine. It wasn't fine. It was one of the worst experiences. It had a horrible texture, the worst taste, and I'll never do that again. Yeah, I feel like so grounded afterwards too. Yeah, I feel activated after reading it as well. No, that's the reward for fasting. Oh yeah, maybe I should go to Shady Glen tomorrow. I've been eating out a lot though, because I was just on vacation, so that's why I was trying to, like, kind of fast a little bit, because, like, I've just been eating all the good food. But clearly, like, sometimes it will make me break out, but clearly that's not happening. So I think my manifestation of trying to be one of those girls that can literally eat whatever she wants, I think it's coming true. I kind of already am like that, but I think it's working even better. That inspires a question. It's easy to lose sight of what it means to be human. What is human to you guys? That's a really freaking deep question. Hey, Melly. Having humanity and seeing yourself in others. Yeah, and also, like, connecting with the earth. Because I think so many starseeds get so obsessed with being, like, off earth or focusing their thoughts and their minds off of the earth that they forget that, like, we're literally living in, like, the Garden of Eden. Like, when I look around lately, I just see how beautiful earth is, and I'm like, why? Like, why are we destroying it? Why are we starting wars? Why? Like, we have everything we need. It could be it could be paradise, but it's not. To feel things fully and viscerally, including having empathy for other humans. Yes. Hey, Sam the Flomenian. I get it now, because I said Flomenian Flove. That's funny. Glad I could make it. Maybe I should make a shirt that says something like, ask me about Flomenian Flove. Like the ocean. Yeah. I'm glad you could make it too, Melly. Having humanity is feeling another's pain and another's joy. Yes, Mother Gaia needs it. A human is, to me, a fusion between light and dark, and therefore finding a harmonious way within and without the frequencies. Nice answer. All right, I want to get into what the topic of conversation is, which is Yoni health. So the men are welcome to stay, but if you don't have a Yoni, this doesn't necessarily pertain to you. So I am very sensitive to a lot of chemicals, just in general. I'm sensitive, like, I have certain allergies. I cannot put certain things on my skin, like, because I will break out. So I'm just a very sensitive individual in the first place. But the most sensitive part of my body, my yoni, is even more sensitive than everything else. So I have had to come up with tips and tricks in order to keep a healthy yoni. And so I'm going to share them with you now. Everyone's like, yay, let's talk about it. Yay. Yeah, I know this is really good because I suffered at many different points in my life, like how I told you guys that, like, I got an IUD and it was, like, inserted inside my literal, like, uterus, and I was allergic to it, and so these chemicals were, like, giving me allergic reaction from the inside out and, like, really messing with my insides, and insurance was, like, refusing to remove it. Like, I've had so much attack, like spiritual attack and bad advice when it comes to my womb space, when it comes to my hormones, when it comes to my yoni, that I had to figure out myself how to fix these things. So the first thing I want to tell you guys is I was having very bad skin reaction at one point with my yoni, and no doctors could tell me what was wrong. No one could help me. And it turns out I had been keeping my toilet paper under the sink in my kitchen, and that sink had chemicals in it. So it had, even though all the chemicals were in the container, so it was chemicals for, like, cleaning, even though all of those chemicals were in the containers, the particles were getting on the toilet paper and affecting, so I was literally having cleaning chemicals on my toilet paper, and y'all can probably imagine how negatively that went. So the first thing I want to tell you is, like, the storage of your toilet paper is important. It's not generally something that you think about. I mean, it's not something I ever thought about until it happened to me. And I had to figure it out by myself. So that is one thing that I've learned over the years. Another thing I've learned is that birth control is not for me. I'm not saying it's not for other people, but it's not for me. It gives me cysts, like it gives me cystic acne, and it gives me cysts on other parts of my body as well, including the yoni area, which can be really dangerous. You know, you don't want to develop some sort of cancer or something. Birth control made me mentally ill. I already suffer with complex PTSD, and I have mental health that I need to be aware of, like mental health issues. So birth control literally made me crazy. It made me mentally ill, and I've tried every kind of birth control. I've tried the pill, I've tried the IUD. How I said it was literally poisoning my organs and giving me an allergic reaction from the inside out, with insurance refusing to remove it. I did the implant in my arm. That's the only birth control that worked for me. However, it didn't work for me because I'm a very active individual. So I was constantly worried about breaking it, because if you break the implant in your arm, it can have serious damage. It's also incredibly invasive. So they literally have to cut into your skin and put it under your skin, and forget about it getting removed. Like, getting it removed was horrifying and disturbing, and they have to like rip it out from under your skin, and you have all the scar tissue around it. Like, it's sick. Honestly, it feels like mad science at this point. So like, that was the only one that worked for me, but it didn't work for me for those other reasons. I did the depot shot. That made me freaking go into like, I'm predisposed to like bipolar 2, which is like mostly depression with some mania, and so it was like making my bipolar kick up, and I don't usually have an issue with that. Like I said, most of the things I experience is trauma response from complex PTSD, but getting that shot in my ass every fucking month was kicking my bipolar into high gear, and it was bad. It was really bad for me. I was getting night sweats. I was waking up in like a pool of sweat. I was having night terrors, like a lot of nightmares. So birth control is not for me. I just decided that. So what I use now is I use a period tracking app, and then I also track in my, and I know that's not great because you're giving your information away, but it's helpful to me. And I also have learned how to fertility track myself. It's very easy to figure out. The app helps me to keep track of my cycle. So like for me personally, I have a 29-day cycle generally. Generally speaking, as long as I'm not sick or like overly stressed out. Like when my friend passed away, my cycle fluctuated. That's another thing we're not really taught, is that like stress can affect your hormones and your menstrual cycle. So like I think I had like a 27 or 28-day cycle during that month, but that's because I was very stressed, and I ended up going to the hospital from like panic attack and migraine and all that bad stuff that happened to me after my friend passed away. So it makes sense why my cycle was off, but generally I have a 29-day cycle, and then you track, and I believe, I always look it up, there's a nurse who, I'll link her videos below later, probably tomorrow, because I really need to just rest tonight, but she talks about it, and I'm pretty sure it's 16 days, it's 16 days after your period. I don't know. I always look it up every month just to make sure, because I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's like 16 days after your last day of your period, I think, is when you're ovulating. So, and then also I keep track of my cervical mucus, so I track my cervical mucus. So basically, obviously, yonis have discharge and everything like that. There are healthy and unhealthy forms of discharge, but most yonis just have some form of healthy discharge most of the time, and your discharge will change, and your cervical mucus will start to show itself in different waves. So you can look it up. You can look up like a cervical mucus chart, which will tell you, this kind of cervical mucus is not fertile, this kind is fertile. And so I track my cycle, and that's a way that I've been able to take back control over my life and my and not have any unwanted pregnancies. I'm also smart, like I use condoms and stuff because there's way too many STDs nowadays. And I value my body and my health and my ability to reproduce and have a healthy natural birth when I do start having children, way more than I value the person what they want. I put myself first. That's a way to have a healthy yoni, is to put yourself first, your health and your needs first. But anyway, So I track my cervical mucus. I make sure that I am having safe sex if I am having it. Honestly, most of the time I'm celibate, if I'm being really honest, because I just don't really like anybody anymore. And what else? Oh yeah, so that helped me to like take my Yoni health back, was natural birth control. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. Toilet paper itself isn't even good for us either. Yeah, I know. Dang. Yeah, it's not for me either. I stopped my birth control at 18 and never looked back. Same. Yeah, it's one of those things you kind of have to figure out for yourself. Not to mention, I have optical migraines, which means I have a higher level of estrogen in my body. And so when you're on birth control, you could literally have a stroke, and no doctors ever told me that. So they put me on birth control when I was 16 because I had very bad acne, and I was on it until I was 25. And I didn't get off of it until I had an actual good neurologist who was like, why are you on that? Like, you could have a stroke because you're literally putting synthetic estrogen in your body when you also have when you already have higher levels of estrogen. So I might have just saved someone's life because the doctors don't fucking know shit most of the time. YouTube is not gonna like this one, talking about natural health remedies and about the shortcomings of Big Pharma. Anyway, so yeah, the doctor was like, yeah, no, you were really lucky to be alive. So my doctors could have killed me because they just don't know what they're doing. So yeah, if you get optical migraines, you could have a stroke. Be very careful. Make sure you figure out if you are on birth control, a safe way for your, like, I think you can do just progesterone or whatever, but it's just not for me. Natural menstruation and cycle tracking is so empowering. Exactly. And honestly, that should be taught in school. Like, why isn't that taught in health class? Because it doesn't make BP money, right? So I think you know what I'm initialing, BP, BPH. Doesn't make them money. Is that why they don't teach us that in school? Celibacy, baby. Yeah. When you're a goddess, your body is a temple, and you cannot be just getting with whoever, because that's sick and gross and not worth my time and energy. Unless it's going to be really good, I don't want anything to do with it. I'm still searching for a good way of birth control, but my system doesn't cope well with it. Yeah, mad science, literally. Yeah. Nice that you found a helpful way. Yeah, it is. You just have to do your research, and it's really not that hard to figure out, to start to understand your body, figure out your cycles, and find a way to track your fertility through understanding your body and the cues that your body gives you that it's fertile. I love using Stardust to cycle track because it also shows your cycle synced with the moon cycles. Oh, that's cool. Is that like an app? YouTube already started to buffer for me when you started talking about health. Wow. Hi, Galilea. I'm doing good. How are you doing? I have always been a prude. It has worked for me. That's funny. Okay, so other ways that I keep a healthy yoni is this is like the golden, this has helped me so much. So it's called boric acid, and I get the Love Wellness brand from Amazon. It's in a pink container, and it's called The Killer. So basically, boric acid, this is a suppository. So you put this inside your body, you put this inside your yoni, and it has been such a lifesaver for me. It's called The Killer because it kills bacterial vaginosis, it kills candida, so like yeast. It will kill all that stuff that can happen to vaginas, you know what I mean? So it's been great for me because, you know, you don't want to be freaking taking antibiotics every single time your pH gets thrown off and you get BV, or you don't want to be taking that freaking pill that you got to take. Like, I used to just be so sensitive. I'd sit in a bathing suit too long. That's it. Yeast infection, you know what I mean? So But I also have a lot of sexual trauma, and like sexual trauma can do that to you. Like you can be more susceptible to those issues. You can also like your pelvis can become very, very tight, like your pelvic floor can become very tight from sexual trauma as well, which can cause more issues, not just with that, but with sex too, and birth. You can have a hard time with birth because of that. So I do somatic therapy, but I only do it to the point where I can take it because sometimes it makes me really sick, like doing somatic therapy, because I have so much trauma held in my pelvic floor. And also, this is crazy, I just learned this. I just learned that sexual trauma can live in your jaw and in your shoulders. So those of us who have really bad TMJ and grind our teeth or get like very bad migraines and stuff in the jaw, like, because sometimes when you get a migraine, it can be like in the jaw or in the ear. Like I still get ear infections from grinding and from clenching my jaw. That is all from sexual trauma, because the jaw and the pelvis are connected. And it's also connected to your feet. So if you have a lot of pain in your feet, it's likely that, or a lot of pain in the jaw, it's likely that it's also in your pelvis. So soaking the feet and soaking the ankles can be really helpful if you have like a really tight pelvis or a really tight jaw. But yeah, no, I didn't know that either, Lizzie, because like I learned that from somatic therapy, that it's like sexual trauma lives in the jaw. But for me, I actually, trigger warning, I have sexual trauma like with my face. Like, so it makes sense to me that it's like living in my jaw personally. Our mothers can pass on their sexual trauma to us as well. Yeah, absolutely. And even like when your mom was in your grandma's body, your mom had all the eggs that she would ever have. So you were technically like in your grandmother's womb as well. So like tack that on, all your grandmother's sexual trauma as well. So, yeah, so this helps me so much if you get, out of whack. It's natural. Boric acid is natural. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. Make sure you're always doing what's best for your own body. But this is great, and I get it on Amazon. It's called The Killer by Love and Wellness, and it's boric acid. I never catch you live, so I'm so excited. I'm glad you're here too. Okay, so the next thing I use for Yoni health, I looked high and far and wide for a good lube that I could use with condoms that would not completely hurt me. So like I said, I'm very sensitive, so it can be very painful when I use certain chemicals and things, and lube was always something that was like, it always hurt, like, and then I could not enjoy having sex. Then it's like, what's the point, because you're not even having a good time. And then also too, I learned that because for a while I just used condoms and no lube, and if you do that, you can be more susceptible to UTI. Because, yeah, so I searched far and wide for this, and this is what works for me. Like I said, everybody's different. It might be different for you, but I use this Isabel Faye. It's a natural water-based lubricant, so you can use it with condoms. And for me, what I did first, I guess I'll just be super honest. What I did first was like I tried it on my skin first before any sexual activity, so that I could see, does it burn, does it hurt, like how does this feel? And I just kind of did it on the outside. Then I tried it on the inside of my body with no sexual activity to gauge how it felt and see if it, burned or whatever, and it did not. Then I used it first by myself, like with masturbation, to see if it was something that, once I do start, doing the sexual acts, if it burns, if it hurts, like whatever, so that you don't have to worry about involving somebody else in your trial and error. I mean, if you're in a long-term relationship, I'm sure it's a little different, but this is just for me as a single person. And then once I realized that, it was good to go, that's when I decided that it was something that I could use with other people. So make sure that, if you're very sensitive like me, that you're taking your time when you're trying to figure something like this out, so that you don't don't end up hurting yourself or like ending up in a situation that you just don't want to be in, like with fucking burning from the inside and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, it's something men will never understand. Like, they'll never understand what it's like to have a vagina. And it's another reason why I get frustrated when trans people try to say that they're women, because it's like, no, you're a trans woman. Like, I will never understand your experience. I will never understand what it's like to have a surgically constructed vagina. You will never understand what it's like to have a natural vagina. We are not the same. That shouldn't be controversial to say. That shouldn't be problematic to say. It's just honest. These people are all trust the science until it's not convenient for them. And then they don't want to listen to the science. So it's like, that's just life, baby. A natural born vagina ain't the same as a surgically constructed, it ain't the same as a penis turned inside out, shoved in your body, and surgically turned into that doctor's version of a vagina. It's just not the same. And that shouldn't be controversial to say. And that's why I feel like they will never understand our experience. They will never know what it's like to have a vagina. Like, they have their version of a vagina that's just an inside-out penis. I have my version of a vagina that's a real vagina. So, and I don't think that's wrong. I think that's honest. I think it's truth. I think it's factual. I think it's science. And I think it's insanity that people want to tell you different. Those of them who are lucky enough to not collapse that inside-out penis and have just like a gash that they're constantly trying to keep from not getting infected. You know, half of these people don't even have genitals anymore from this mutilation, but that's a story for another day. It's literally factual. It's literally the truth, and the worshipers of darkness hate the truth simply because it's the truth. Yep. Okay, so the next thing I use is my Yoni steam. So I started making Yoni steams because my friend gifted me one, and it was really beneficial. I liked it a lot. And so I started making them myself, and then I started also charging them up with Aphrodite. So, because I work very closely with Aphrodite, so I charge these Yoni steams with Aphrodite, and I love these. It is comfy, like it feels nice and warm, and it just feels good. And I just splurged and got myself like this little like sitz bath, and then this little like stool to put the sitz bath in so I could be comfortable like while I'm doing my Yoni steam. So now I do it while I like watch TV. It's like really nice. I've got a luxury setup now because I was just using a bowl. But I have a whole video on my channel about how to use a Yoni steam if you don't have that kind of a setup. And the thing about this though is you have to be really careful not to burn yourself. So always make sure that you're not like pushing it. Like if it feels too hot, it's too hot, get off, you know? And so what I've been doing lately is I've been so you boil it for 10 minutes, you bring the water to the boil, and then you put the herbs in, and then you leave it boiling for 10 minutes in order for all of that good stuff to like get out of the herbs. And what I do is I put it in about half the amount of water I need for my sitz bath. So I boil it, and then I pour it in my sitz bath, and then I put like cooler water in my sitz bath so that it's not like still boiling hot, and then it's like the perfect temperature for me. But if you need to boil the water and you're not going to be adding cooler water to it, just let it sit. Like let it sit until it's not too hot anymore, and just keep checking. And then once it feels good, what you do is you go over the over whatever you're using. So like if you're using a bowl, like I give the example in my video, if you're using the bowl, then you kind of like lay over it on the ground. And what you use is, I like to do it when I'm wearing a big flowy skirt, because then I can like put the skirt around it and it like captures the heat in. Or you can put a blanket and it captures like the steam. And this helps me so much. So like if I'm feeling like my pH is off, or like I'm just needing some extra support for health, or let's say you're about to have like a hot date and you're like, I want my yoni to be like in tip-top shape. I want it to be extra juicy because it definitely helps with that. Like this definitely helps with that. I also take marshmallow root, and that will make you freaking slippery and slidey. I'll tell you that. I'm already that way, but that marshmallow root, man, it'll get you in a good way. But like I said, I'm not a doctor. Make sure you're always checking things with your doctor first. But yeah, so if you got a hot date and you wanna get your yoni ready, and then also too, if you wanna it's really good for spiritual cleansing, like to spiritually cleanse the body and remove any energy from that area that you don't want there anymore. So maybe it's a past lover, or maybe it's sexual trauma, or maybe it could be anything, but consider it like sage for your vagina. So yeah, yoni stem. And all of this is completely organic. I bought it from a small business on Etsy, like all the different herbs. So yeah, snail trail, eh? Yes, exactly. All right, so those are my tricks. So now we're gonna do sound healing. I hope this video stays up. I think worst comes to worst, they'll just turn off the comments like they did on my natural pregnancy video. They censored it. God, vaginas are so awesome. Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah, they're cool. Seriously magical. Yeah, and the portal through which life is brought onto earth. Love women or hate women, every single one of you comes from them. So none of you would be here if you didn't come out of a vagina. And I know there's C-section and everything like that, but still, a womb created you, grew you, and then gave you the opportunity for life. So we are the portal through which everything comes. Have some shame, Zin. Why don't you be ashamed? Why don't you be ashamed? Don't come on my channel where I'm trying to help women talk about the health of our bodies and the magic of our bodies. People like you are exactly what's wrong with the world. You shame women for existing in their natural state. It is natural and healthy for us to be in this state. And like I just said, Zin, you wouldn't exist. You came out of a vagina, like it or not. So that's just life. There's nothing shameful about being a woman. There's nothing dirty about getting your period. There's nothing shameful about birthing a whole fucking kid out of your vagina. Like, nothing shameful about that, buddy. You're on the wrong channel. And that's exactly what's wrong with society. Is society loves to tell us to shut up when it comes to our own well-being and our health and our female bodies. They love to tell us that we're gross or dirty or wrong in some way, when in reality, that's what a natural woman is. Like, a natural healthy woman is going to menstruate. A natural healthy woman is going to have fluids. A natural healthy woman is going to be able to birth a baby out of her vagina. And I'm not saying if you can't do that, you're not a woman, but I think everyone can agree, and this is trust the science again. If you're not able to do that, there's something wrong with your health. Like, there's something off with your health. So it's not taking away your womanhood. It's just recognizing, I think I need to get something in alignment because something is out of alignment when it comes to health, No shame in the game, exactly. Pure power, the embodiment of the divine, exactly. And I'm so fucking sick of being told that I should be ashamed of myself simply because I'm existing as a woman. And we want to talk about Pride Month. How about the fact that most detransitioners are white women? Because they don't want to freaking be white, for one thing, and in this world, because this world is very shaming of that. And for two, they don't want to be women because society freaking hates women and tells them, all this shit, and RAPEs them, and you know what I mean? So, like, enough of that shit. I'm gonna share what I had to learn by myself because society refuses to acknowledge women's needs. So I'm gonna share the Yoni steams. I'm gonna share the lube. I'm gonna share because I had to fucking figure that shit out out myself. And if I can help somebody else to not have to fucking suffer the way I've suffered at the hands of the medical system and at the hands of society simply for existing as a woman, then I'm gonna fucking do it. You should be ashamed, not me. I'm helping people. I'm doing a good thing. That's it. Thanks for standing up, Dutch. Yeah, no, I'm sick of this shit. That's why it's fucking Women and Children's Month on my channel. Because women and children are constantly casted aside by society. And I'm done. I'm done with it. I should be able to talk about my tricks to keep a healthy yoni. Because God knows the doctors couldn't tell me. The doctors couldn't teach me. School didn't teach me. Nobody fucking taught me. So here I am sitting and teaching people what I had to learn myself. Simply and simply having a vagina, having a period, being able to give birth, get pregnant, all of this stuff, it is not gross. It is natural. It is healthy. And if you're a real man and you really are attracted to women, you'll be attracted to all of it, right? You'll be attracted to all of it because you'll be attracted to a natural woman in her natural state. Society has brainwashed and stolen the masculinity and testosterone from so many of these men. They can't, it's just, I could go on and on. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. You're welcome. I know, right? Go Dutchess. Thank you. Say it loud, say it proud. Same over here. For real, it's the Wild West out here. Yeah, we got to figure it out ourselves. So if I can save somebody from the suffering I went through because nobody fucking knew, then great. All right, so let's get into our sound healing, guys. So my intention with this sound healing is to heal and align the yoni. So getting the yoni in good health and relieving any physical, emotional ailments that may be, my thigh is beautiful. Thanks. Do you mean my tattoo? It's my nanny. So thank you. It's my grandmother's portrait. But so getting the yoni in alignment, physically and spiritually, and relieving any physical ailments or spiritual attachments that might be being experienced in the yoni right now to give proper health. Yeah, so sit back, relax, be open to receive. And I'm using a orange D note, which is for the sacral chakra. nice. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hey, Indigo. I just got the notification, but hallelujah, I'm here for the singing bowl. Yeah, you can watch it back after, too. You loved it? Good. Sacral chakra, yoni, health, healing. Exactly. That was nice. I was imagining myself, like, back from my Native American past life with my little baby. My baby spirit. Okay, I'm gonna pull a goddess card. Bastet, play. So that's perfect. And actually, back during like Egyptian times, women would wear the skirts and they would have nothing underneath, and they would flash their vulva at like people in ceremony to honor Bastet. So that's pretty on point with everything we just did. That was amazing. Yay. Beautiful. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, Nikki. You're welcome. I loved it. Thank you, Dutch. You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Yes, Bastet. Let's get another one. Ooh, we have the Siren's Temptation on the bottom. Let's see what else we got. Rhiannon, self-trust. So this woman was exiled. Somebody made up some lie about her, and they were trying to get her to confess to this lie. And when she wouldn't confess, they exiled her and sent her off into no man's land with nothing but her horse. And then they found out that all the allegations against her was a lie. So then they had to go out into no man's land to find her and swallow their pride and apologize and say, I'm sorry. And then she went back to her kingdom, because I'm pretty sure she was like the princess or something like that. So it's about like self-trust, like standing in your truth and your morals and standing in your beliefs and not backing down despite, you know, the mob or other people's lies trying to get you to not like consent to things you don't want to do or believe in things you don't want to believe. It's about following your heart and not giving in despite what crowds or mobs might be trying to force you into. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Shout out to Stevie Nicks. Yeah, it is a great song. Caught the live. Who better than me? Hi, Paul. Yo, I was thinking the same, Lizzie. I know, I can hear the song in my head. I heard it earlier. It came on the algorithm. All right, let's pull one more goddess card. And then I'll pull. And then I got go. But Pele, purpose. So she's a volcano goddess, and it is said that if you take a stone from her volcano, you will be cursed. And that's why she kind of looks grumpy and angry, because she doesn't put up with BS. So this is also about standing your ground and not letting people take advantage of you or take from you when they're not worthy of taking, right? Which is actually a lot of what we talked about earlier. Then we'll get one romance card. And then I'm gonna shower and watch Buffy. Pay attention to the red flags. I need a clarifier for that. Okay. We have pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. True love. This is the romance of a lifetime. So you might be getting a lot of signs and synchronicities right now about someone or like a partner or something like that, and it's like you're trying to ignore the signs and synchronicities, but it feels like a good thing. I mean, obviously don't ignore bad red flags, of course. Don't wear rose-colored glasses, ignoring bad red flags. But it almost feels like spirit is, because look, this spirit is like trying to show her something. So it almost feels like spirit's trying to show you something about your true love. So make sure you're looking out for those signs and synchronicities connected to that. Stevie has been coming through for the twins. That's actually a twin synchronicity for me. That's wild. Grew up with that lore. My grandpa lives on the Big Island. Beautiful. You can go your own way. Yeah. Go your own way. I guess Fleetwood Mac is just coming up. I'm being called out here. Spirit likes to do that. I hate being late. I'm sorry, you can watch it back, Paul. When the love has won, Colt took over I don't know how to say that. Kaui. I feel like I said it wrong. The locals protested by setting a fire. When asked by the authorities who set the fire, they responded, Pele. That's so badass. I love that. Your advice has made so much for me. Good, I'm glad. Well, I'm just going to close everything out with a prayer. Thank you to my guides, guardians, ancestors, angels, star family, higher self, Yeshua, Baal, Ra, Yameya, God Source, as well as myself, for putting myself out there on this live and for giving me the strength to share things that are, definitely helpful and need to be talked about more. But as we saw in the live, society loves to shame us for these things. So thanks for giving me the strength to do this, and I pray as well that this finds the right people and helps at least one person. And I just say thank you. And I just close this live out now. Amorash and namaste, by the power of the reason it be always works, always a blessing. You predicted my success. Well, I try. It's my job. It's like Zendaya when she's like, I think it's our jobs. That's me. Thank you, Nikki. You're welcome. Have fun tonight. Thanks, you too. You do so much good, Nikki. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh my gosh. I gotta go because I'm sleepy and I want to watch Buffy. But namaste. Thank you again. So helpful. You're welcome. Smells like success. It smells like teen spirit. Okay. Love you guys. Bye. Have a good night. Have a beautiful time. Goodbye. If you know, comment after.